Hello everybody and welcome to today's live broadcast. I am Asim, I am a product manager from QNAP, and the topic for today is QNAP's Multimedia Console. Okay, so today we are going to go through our Multimedia Console. What is Multimedia Console? What is the purpose of Multimedia Console and what you can do with this, how you can use it. Okay, so let's start with the slides. So the multimedia console will help you to centrally control and monitor all your multimedia services. When I say services, means the backend services on the QNAP NAS. What happens is, we have so many multimedia applications like photo station, video station, QMAG. Photo station is for managing photos, video station is for managing videos and viewing the videos, music station is for viewing the music. Okay, so there's a lot of things that go in the background related to these applications. So what we have done is, there are some I'll say some technical things going on in the backend or in the background which we don't want our end users to face or go through. However, there are some customers or there are some users who want to go through these, who want to be able to manage these services. So that's why we created Multimedia Console, so that if somebody wants to make some changes or monitor or control the backend services of our QNAP's multimedia applications, they can do it. Okay, so today the agenda is, first we'll go through what is the Multimedia Console. We'll give you some introduction about Multimedia Console, then what are the different features of Multimedia Console, and we'll discuss one user story about hybrid mount, how hybrid mount combined with Multimedia Console can be really beneficial, and then we'll go through a live demo where I will show you step by step each and every functionality of Multimedia Console and what it is used for. Okay, so first is the introduction part. What is the Multimedia Console? Okay, in our NAS, as I mentioned before, there are many different types of backend services that work. So for example, let's say there is a user and he has some end customer. Let's say there's an end customer and they would like to back up their multimedia files onto the NAS. So we are talking about videos, we are talking about photos, music files. Okay, so let's say they want to back up all these files onto the QNAP NAS. Now the different applications, video station, music station, photo station, QMAG, which is a AI powered photo management application, all these different applications will run in the will help the user to browse and navigate the photos and videos. But in the background there are some things which are happening. Okay, so all these applications have to go through these all these applications do some stuff in the background. Okay, so that stuff that is happening in the background, that is all controlled using the Multimedia Console, and we call them multimedia backend services. So what are these multimedia backend services? One of them is, let's say, content source. So what it means is, you can decide for your, let's say, for your photo station, which is the content source for your photo station. So only the photos in a particular folder will be shown in photo station. On the contrary, let's say Google Photos. Okay, in Google Photos, we don't have this kind of feature. In Google Photos, whatever photos you upload to Google Photos will show. But here, the difference is, like, if you want to set a particular folder as your source folder, or the source which should read, or the QMAG or photo station should read, that is called content source. Okay, so this is common across all the different applications. It's common across video station, music station. So you can set the content source. So this is one of the service that happens or runs in the background that we can change. The other thing is indexing. Indexing is something which helps you to index all your multimedia files together and combine into a central database, so that it's very easy for later purposes, especially for the purpose of searching. It is very easy to find with the help of this indexing. Then there is thumbnail generation. That is also one backend services. Now what is thumbnail generation is, whenever you upload a multimedia file of course there will be small thumbnails which are generated. Now of course we always take it for granted as users that we don't know, but when thumbnails are generated, what goes on in generating the thumbnails, what is happening. So in the background, the multimedia console is working on generating the thumbnails for your multimedia files. Okay, then it's something called transcoding. What happens is a lot of files, especially when it comes to videos, okay, a lot of different file formats are there, video file formats are there. So transcoding helps you to convert from one format to the other format. Especially the destination format for us is MPEG-4 because it's really easy to play. Okay, and the final backend service that runs is AI engine. So you know, now QNAP has QMagic Core and QSearch, all up, and later on, you know, our plan is to integrate AI features in Q filing as well. So there are so many AI related features happening in the NAS. So many applications use it. So QSearch, at the moment, QSearch and QMagi is using the AI features. Now the thing is, if we put all the AI features within one application, let's say QMagi, then the other application QSearch will not be able to use it. So what we have to do is, you know, we have to make sure that, you know, there's a common database or a common service running in the background which can help, which all the other applications can leverage, and that's what Multimedia Console is all about. Okay, so the main 5 services or the main 5 features or functionalities we can say for Multimedia Console is content sourcing, indexing, thumbnail generation, transcoding, and managing the AI engine, and I'll go through each and every one of them. Okay, so nothing to worry about. The first is what is content source. As I mentioned before, we'll go through the demo for this as well. You can set the source folder, okay, for your multimedia application, so that only the content or only the data in that source folder will show within your application. So let me give you an example. Let us say there is a user and he saves all his photos in one folder named photo. He saves all his videos in another folder and all his music into another folder. Okay, let's say they are 3 different folders. Now when you open let's say QMagi or Photo Station, what you can do is you can set the source folder for QMagi as the photo folder where he has saved all the photos. Sorry, for Music Station you can set the content folder or the source content source folder as the music folder where the user has uploaded all his music files. Similarly for video. Now all these applications allow you to do that from within the application. You can go to QMagi, you can set the content source folder. You can go to Music Station, you can set the content source folder. You can go to Video Station, you can set the content source folder. But the problem is with all these applications is like for every application you have to go and separately set the content source folder. If you have to change it regularly, it's not very it's not very easy. Of course, this is not something you have to do regularly, but we prefer that if there is one centralized place where you can set the content source folder for all the applications. That is what Multimedia Console can do. So from Multimedia Console you can set the content source for all your applications. Okay, and I'll show you later in the live demo how to do it. So that is called setting the content source. The next is indexing. So Multimedia Console helps to create the index for all the contents in the source folder. So let's say once you have set the content source, let's talk about photos. Okay, let's say there's one folder where you put all your photos. Now once you have put all your photos into that folder, the next step the Multimedia Console is going to do is it's going to index all those photos. Now why we need to do index? The reason we need to do index is because it helps to search that data very easily later on. So if QSearch wants to search the data, or even QMagi or even Photo Station wants to search, it is very easy to do it. But the first thing to do is indexing. So indexing will help you to basically all your photos will be saved into one database after indexing. I think it's quite common term for technical users. For non-technical users, they should understand is like all the photos are basically saved into the database for future purposes, for so that it's easy to find them. Okay, So we maintain one centralized database for all the multimedia content. So indexing will help you to do it. So in the multimedia console, you can see the indexing and you can see the status of the indexing. Okay. The next is backend service that the multimedia console supports is called transcoding. As I mentioned before, transcoding is mainly for video station. What is happening is videos are come in many different formats and they have different kind of plugins, codecs. So what you can do is using the transcode functionality, the multimedia console helps you to transcode or convert a video from one format to the other format. So if a video, let's say, which is not supported or which is not easy to play, you can just convert that video into a playable format, something like MPEG-4. Okay, so in a QNAP NAS, we always prefer to play all the videos into MPEG-4 format. So any video can be converted into MPEG-4 using this transcoding functionality. So this will help you to play any kind of video. Okay, so that's transcoding. Then is thumbnail generation. Now this is for any multimedia content like photo, video, music. Thumbnails will be generated. Now what multimedia console will do is it will help you to manage your thumbnails, or you can specify which kind of thumbnails you want, or you want to specify the size of the thumbnails. It'll help you to control all those things. Okay, so thumbnail generation is also one of the features of multimedia console. You can decide which thumbnails you want, which kind of formats you want to generate thumbnails for which kind of format you don't want. Okay, so you can do all those settings in the thumbnail generation part. And the final one is the AI engine. Basically the AI engine is in QNAP NAS is the QMagic core, which helps you to recognize the people in your photos, the objects in your photos, and also helps to detect similar photos. Okay, so there are different kind of AI related algorithms running in the background. So multimedia console helps you to just monitor them. You can control some of them, but mostly it's about monitoring and just pause, play, and all those things. Okay, so the whole purpose of multimedia console is, okay, it consolidates all of the multimedia backend services, the backend services which I just mentioned. Okay, it helps you to consolidate all of these services which are running within the different QNAP NAS applications. Okay, so QMagi, video station, QSearch, photo station, music station, DLNA, all of these applications are using these backend services like indexing and thumbnail generation and what else, transcoding, and different kind of backend services. So multimedia console helps to consolidate all of them into one place, into one application. Okay, and that's why multimedia console is a preloaded application in the QNAP NAS. When you buy a NAS and when you open the App Center, it's by default installed because it's actually a very important application. So it's a preloaded application, you don't have to install it separately. Okay, so one of the main advantages of multimedia console is like it avoids decentralized management. Okay, the user doesn't have to go through the same setup process within each individual application. So whenever the user wants to do something related to all the multimedia applications, if they want to do something related to these backend services, they can do all that from multimedia console itself. They don't have to go through each and every application separately, and it's very quite inconvenient. Okay, so centralized management will really help you to give an easier control, okay, over all your applications. Okay, so multimedia console helps you to provide that. So now I'll go through each and every feature that we have discussed in detail. So first and foremost is about managing the content source. I have mentioned this before as well. In the content management tab of multimedia console, what you can do is you can define the source folder and access permission for each multimedia application in your QNAP NAS. So for example, here you can see the screenshot of multimedia console where there are different applications, and for each applications you can edit the content source, the source of the content, and on the right hand side there's a screenshot you can see where you can specify the content source folder. You can do the same thing from the individual application also. You can go to QMAG and do this. You can go to photo station, video station and do the same thing. But with Multimedia Console, you can see all the applications from within one dashboard you can manage. So it becomes easy. Generally, you know, it's really helpful for admins, people who are managing different users. For them, a Multimedia Console is really helpful. But for end customers, maybe they may not find it very, very useful, because maybe for them it's just about backing up the photos and viewing the photos. Then indexing. Now, the indexing feature will help you to generate the index within the content source folder. Okay, so as I said, the first step is to set your content source for your multimedia source folder, and then the indexing will happen. Okay, and the indexing will also after the indexing, the next step will be generating the thumbnails and transcoding of the multimedia content. Okay, now using in the indexing tab, you can monitor and control the priority of indexing among system tasks. So because indexing can take time, indexing happens in the background, so you can always change the priority, like low priority or high priority. So if there are some tasks happening in the background, the system tasks happening in the background, so if you set low priority to indexing, so always it will keep waiting. The Multimedia Console will wait if the system hardware resources are free, and only once they are free, only then the indexing will take or go ahead. Okay, and it also helps you to set the text encoding when you are parsing the metadata. Okay, so when you each multimedia file has some metadata, so when you're parsing this metadata, you can define the text encoding. Okay, again, as I said, these kind of features are not for end customers. They are more suitable for administrators who are managing you know, a lot of users and multimedia content for their enterprises or for SMBs. Okay, next feature is the thumbnail generation. What thumbnail generation feature will do is it will help you to what is thumbnail? Thumbnail is basically, it helps you to create a preview or a small icon for your multimedia file. Okay, and without opening the file. So basically you don't have to open the file, but a small icon will be created. That's called thumbnail. I think we all are familiar with this. So with the help of Multimedia Console thumbnail generation feature, you can monitor and control the thumbnail generation progress. How's the progress going on? Is the thumbnail generation finished, or is it ongoing? Okay, you can schedule how often you want to generate the thumbnails, okay, for your multimedia content source folder. And you can also do some advanced settings, like whether you want to generate large thumbnails or small thumbnails. Okay, now one thing I want to say here is, like, because you know, thumbnail generation can be a bit of a you know, resource consuming process. Okay, because imagine if your NAS has millions of photos, which is completely possible because let's say you are a photographer and you have a lot of photos. Generating thumbnails could be a time consuming process. So it's very important to provide a scheduled thumbnail generation feature. So what this will do is, you can just say, okay, I want to generate the thumbnail. Let me upload the photos today. Okay, let's say I upload around maybe 100 GB worth of photos, and I can schedule the thumbnail generation maybe, let's say, at night when I'm not using the NAS, or when my NAS is not under a lot of, you know, work. So you can schedule the thumbnail generation. So what will happen is, like, at the night when the system is the resources are free, the thumbnails will be generated, and then you can see all your thumbnails easily. Okay, this is important because the thumbnail generation takes time. Okay, so you can do all these settings from Multimedia Console. Okay, the next is transcoding. Now, what is transcoding? Basically, it's very simple. Converting one format to another format, that's called transcoding. What we do is, in QNAP NAS, is we help you to convert any video folder, any video file into MPEG-4, so that when you play the file, it's very easy to play, because most of the players, or let's say you are playing the file on anywhere, let's say you're playing the file on the mobile phone, or you're playing on your smart TV, or whether you're playing it on, you know, web. The easiest way is, like, MPEG-4 is supported in most of the client side player. Okay, so that's why it's very important that if somebody uploads a video of any format, the transcoding can help you to convert it into MP4 MPEG-4, and once it's converted into MPEG-4, you can play it on any kind of device or client, whether it's mobile or your smart TV or anything. Okay, so transcoding is also a very good, very important feature. And with the transcoding tab in Multimedia Console, what you can do is you can monitor and control the background transcoding. You can view the on-the-fly transcoding. On-the-fly transcoding is like, it will transcode when you are viewing it, at the same time it is doing the transcoding. So it is just for viewing purposes. Okay, then you can control your transcoding jobs, like which video folders you want to transcode, and you can schedule the transcoding for those. Okay, so again, transcoding is conversion of format or conversion of file format from one to another one, and that's why you can also schedule the transcoding part, because it again takes time. And the last one is AI engine. AI engine will help you to what is AI engine? I already mentioned before. AI engine is QMAG core. In QNAP, we have a QMAG application named QMAG, and the backend, the AI brain of QMAG is QMAG core. Okay, so QMAG core is the application where all the AI algorithms are implemented and AI algorithms are working. Okay, so the QMAG core is the AI engine, okay, which is capable of doing facial recognition, object recognition, and similar photo recognition, or detecting similar photos. Now, with the help of Multimedia Console, what you can do is you can monitor and control how the progress of these different AI algorithms. So what is the progress? Like, have the facial recognition finished, or is it still ongoing? Okay, or you can also check the hardware resources, and you can also pause and restart these algorithms. Okay, again, as I mentioned, by default, all these will be enabled, and the user will never have to do it. But just if somebody wants, or some user wants to customize or control these kind of features, we have provided these features, okay, in Multimedia Console. Then there is a tab in Multimedia Console called Multimedia App Suite, which helps you to monitor, easily manage all your multimedia applications. So what are the different multimedia applications we have? QMAG, Photo Station, Video Station, Music Station, DLNA, then even Kine MSP, which is a third party application, is also a multimedia application. Okay, so you can monitor and control. Okay, you can enable the status of the different multimedia applications within the QNAP NAS. Okay, you can also define the individual account permission. So for example, from this dashboard, if you want to control which user on the NAS should be able to access Video Station and which user should not be able to access Photo Station, you can do all those control permissions through the Multimedia App Suite. Definitely you can do the same from the NAS control panel also, but it just makes it easier. If you want to do it just specifically for multimedia apps, you can do this here, because for end customers, if they want to restrict their children or their family members from viewing some particular content, or some, let's say, I don't want my children to view or get access to Video Station, just to make sure they don't view any or waste their time in viewing some movies or something. So we can do that. Okay, so we can block the access to other users for Video Station. Okay, and we have an overview panel which helps you to just give you an overall view of your multimedia console. Okay, so one user story which I would really like to highlight here for Multimedia Console is using hybrid mount. So for example, let's say if there is a user who wants to manage all his multimedia files which are stored in different cloud platforms. Let's say there are some multimedia files in Google Drive, there are some multimedia files in Dropbox, there are some multimedia files in Amazon S3, a different kind of multimedia files. Okay, so how can this user centrally control, manage, okay, all these files, because they are dissipated right now currently. So okay, so you can set the hybrid mount volume as a content source. okay, and you can browse the contents on the cloud in the multimedia applications. All right, and with this, with the help of hybrid mount and multimedia console, you can enjoy large storage space on cloud drives, okay, and you can use QNAP to smartly organize all the photos which are actually stored in the cloud. You can build your own video library with the help of Video Station, and you can stream the videos to different players with the help of DLNA server. All right, so a combination of hybrid mount and multimedia console and all the other multimedia applications of QNAP NAS can really help you to solve the problem of your multimedia content dissipated across different cloud platforms. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the demo for multimedia console. So let's switch to our demo. Okay, so this is my NAS. You can see here. Let me close this. This is our multimedia console. If you go to the App Center here, you can just search for multimedia console, and this application is by default installed. Even if you try to remove it, it's not possible. Okay, so what you can do is just click here, and when you open, this is not the default view. Let me tell you, a user who opens the multimedia console for the very first time, or let's say there is a new user. So when you open for the very first time, this is how it will look like. The multimedia services are disabled by default. Why this is done? It's because NAS, a lot of our customers, they don't use NAS for the purpose of storing multimedia files. They use it for mainly for virtualization or maybe for backing up the data, but maybe they are not interested in using the multimedia services. So that's why, by default it is disabled, but it doesn't affect anybody. You can just go and enable it. It's just one click. So generally for end customers, once they buy a new NAS, the first thing they have to do is, before they start using any multimedia services on their NAS, they just open multimedia console, and then they have to click this button here. This is very important. This is the first step. Okay, and click on OK, and it will start enabling the multimedia services. Once you do that, after that you will be able to install Video Station, Photo Station, QNAP, QMusic or Music Station. Okay, all those applications will install after you have enabled the multimedia services. So after you enable the multimedia services, you can see here, okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, this is another NAS on which the multimedia services are already enabled. This is the NAS I used, okay, before to show you disabled. Yeah, you can see here. Okay, so it's enabled on this NAS now. Okay, so let's go to our demo NAS. So this is how it looks like. Now let's assume you have already installed the applications like Photo Station, Video Station, Music Station and QNAP. Okay, I'm not going to go through the installation process because it just takes unnecessary time for the installation itself. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is about the content management, the source, setting the source for your content or for your applications. If you go here in the content management, this is one of the most important functions of Multimedia Console. You can centrally manage the source folder for a lot of your applications. So let's say QNAP. If you click here, right now, there is no content source folder selected. Let me close it here. And let's say if there is QNAP, I can show you, open the QNAP. Let me open QNAP. Okay, it's empty. It's empty here. There's nothing here. And see, it shows the same thing. You can go to Multimedia Console and set the do the content management. So let's open here the Multimedia Console, content management, and I can edit and define my source folder. So there are some photos I have put into this folder. Okay, so I just select this and apply. Now QNAP will start reading the photos from this folder. Let me show you the file station here in this MMC test, just for the sake of the demo. Okay, there are some photos here. Okay, you can see here. Now let's say Qmaji, let me refresh this, and you can see all the photos are here. You can see here. Okay, some thumbnails maybe takes time to generate, or maybe some of them they may not be, the format might not be supported. There is a, I mean, I'll tell you later how to do it. Okay, so you can see all the photos are here now. Now similarly, you can do the same for video station also. So if you go to content management, let's say video station, let's check, and right now there is no source selected. So let me close here and I'll open video station. And you can see right now empty. So what we can do is simple, we'll open the Multimedia Console, go to content management, go to video station and set our source folder, which is video, this one, and click on apply, and I think that's it. So done. And if you open your video station here, let's refresh this, and you can see the videos will come here. Okay, so similarly you can do for music station, you can do for photo station. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them. What I want to show you here is, like, you know, you can do the same thing from Qmaji or from individual application also. So for example, here this is Qmaji. Now if I go here and go to the settings, you can do the same here. See, you can do the same thing here as well. Okay, however, with the help of Multimedia Console, it just makes it easy for you to centrally control all of them. Look at here. So let's go music, apply. Okay, similarly for Q search also you can select which is your content source folder, and that's it. Okay, so that is the first thing you have to do for using any multimedia application. The first thing is you have to set the content source folder. Once you set the content source folder, the next thing is going to happen is indexing. Okay, here you don't have to do anything. It's just for your viewing purposes. You can view the status of the indexing. So right now you can see the index is already completed. When I upload a lot of photos or videos, then the indexing, maybe it will show here ongoing or in progress. Okay, but right now the indexing is already finished, so it shows completed. Okay, you can change the priority here to normal or to low. So if you keep it low by default, that means the indexing will always have lower priority compared to other tasks. So the indexing will happen only if the system hardware resources are free for you. Okay, and you can set the text encoding. Okay, for whenever you are the indexing will parse the metadata of your multimedia file. Okay, so you can specify the text encoding here, and if you want to do the reindexing, if you want to do it again, just click on this button and it will do the reindexing. Okay, so that is the indexing part. The next is the thumbnail generation here. Okay, let me I think I made some changes, so let me apply those changes. Now let's go to thumbnail generation. Now the thumbnail generation part is going to show you different features, or let you customize your thumbnail generation process. So for example, first is you can see the status here. So whenever you will upload the photos or videos or music files, okay, after you set the content source indexing, the next process will be the thumbnail generation. So when the thumbnail generation is happening, you will see the progress here. You can just say, okay, it's completed. You can just ignore it. Or when it is ongoing or when it is in progress, you can click on the pause button and the thumbnail generation process will pause. This is needed because if there are a lot of photos, there are a lot of videos, the thumbnail generation can consume a lot of system resources. So you can pause it at any point of time. You can remove all the thumbnails and you can regenerate them, but I will recommend all the users not to mess with this thing, because it will unnecessarily consume a lot of resources. Of course, if you want to if you are going short of if you are running short of space, then you can remove all the thumbnails, but it's going to give you a very bad user experience. So I recommend you not to change anything here. If okay, here are the thumbnail generation settings. In the sense, let's say when you select this feature, generate in real time, this means whenever you will upload the multimedia files on your NAS, immediately the thumbnail generation process will start assuming those multimedia files are within your content source folder. Okay, so generate in real time will help you to immediately generate as soon as you upload, it will generate the thumbnails. You can do a schedule also, and you can generate manually also, and click on generate now. So manually means whenever you click on generate now, it will generate the thumbnails within your content source folder. It's always better for the best user experience, you keep it generate in real time. Okay. Then you can also do some advanced settings. So for example, generate large thumbnails for high resolution displays. Okay, so you can specify the image quality here as well. Image quality can be high or low. You can exclude the files which has size beyond this. Okay, so there are different kinds of customized things, or you can customize your thumbnail generation process. That's all what it means. Okay, I think they are so basic. I don't think I have to show you the demo for this thing. It's quite understood that if you want to keep the thumbnail generation image quality to low, the image quality will be low. If you exclude the files whose width and height is less than this or more than this, you can do that. It's quite straightforward. One of the things is here is like, let's say you purposefully don't want to generate the thumbnails for a specific kind of file format, so you can exclude those. Okay, you can exclude. You can see all these file formats are here. So let's say I don't want to generate the thumbnails for a .wav file, so or .ape file or this. That's it. So just add them, and in future, once you add them, so in future the thumbnails for these files will never be generated. So you can customize all these functions and features from the Multimedia Console. Okay, so let's click on apply, and that's it. So now WAV files will never get thumbnails. Okay. The next is transcoding. Now what is transcoding? I told you transcoding is converting files from one format to another format. That's general transcoding meaning, but in our case, for NAS, what we always prefer is that you can convert files into MPEG format, because MPEG 4 is a format which is mostly supported by any client-side player. Now there are two types of transcoding here. One is background transcoding. That means you upload the file and NAS will convert the file, and then it's converted into MPEG 4, and now you can play the MPEG 4 on your client side. The other is on-the-fly transcoding. On-the-fly transcoding means the actual file will remain the same format, but while you are playing, it will transcode and play. Okay, it's more like streaming. It's transcoding and playing at the same time. Okay. So for on-the-fly transcoding, you can't do anything. You can just view. So whenever like you are when you are on the client side, let's say on the mobile phone, or let's say even on the web, and you are playing a video, and if you are doing on-the-fly transcoding, it will display here like, okay, you did the on-the-fly transcoding. So this is something which is not very important for anybody. It just shows you the information. But what is important here is the background transcoding. That means if there are some files you want to convert from convert into MPEG 4, you can do it from here. What you have to do is go to settings here. Okay, and you can define your transcoding behavior, let's say. Okay, so keep it scanned in real time, coded. So for example, let's say this is my folder path, mmc test video. So in this folder, whenever I'll upload a file, okay, it will transcode. It will transcode into MPEG 4 720 pixel resolution. Let me show you. And once it's transcoded, it will appear in your background transcoding tab here. So you can just click on completed and it will show here. Let me show you how this happens. So so these settings are here. We don't have to change anything. If you want, you can just add a new folder. You can, let's say, you can just choose the new folder. So define the output file format resolution like this, okay, and you can just click here and apply, and then whenever you will upload a file in this particular folder, transcoding will happen. Okay, let's click on apply. Now let me go to this particular folder and upload a video file here. Let's go to file station. This is the one, MMC test video. Okay, MMC test video, and you can see here right now this is a folder called transcode, and there are 2 videos here, and let me upload a file on this particular path. Let's see if there is any. Let's say this one. Okay, import raw to kvm.mp4. Yeah, so I have uploaded this new video file. So let's go to transcoding here, and you can see it was showing here because the transcoding is already finished. So let me choose completed, and I think I think the output file name is maybe this one. I don't, and let me refresh. I think the output file name is this one, I guess. So let's go to the file station here, and this is the file screen, import raw to kvm. This is the file, and let's go to transcode, and I think no, the transcoding has not happened yet. Wait a minute. Let me try this again. Scan now, and I think it's transcoding. See, so now it's done. Sorry. Okay, so maybe I think I made a mistake in the settings. I don't know. So now you can see import raw to kvm, its transcoding is done. So now I chose the source folder as mmc test/video. Now what will happen is once the transcoding is done, the transcoded video, okay, the MPEG-4 video will be automatically saved in your transcode folder. This is a folder which will be created automatically. So you go here and this video is created here. Okay, so this is the MPEG-4 video with the resolution of 1080 1080p pixel. Okay, so that's how it helps you to do the transcoding. Okay, moving on. And the last one is Multimedia App Suite or Suite. Now what Multimedia App Suite will help you to do is you can see all your multimedia applications here, and let's say I'm the admin of this NAS and I don't want anybody else to see the video station. So what I can do is just go to custom permissions, and these are the local NAS users. So I can just click on alpha and click and deny access to the selected users. So now alpha cannot view video station, but before I implement, let me log out and show you log in as alpha, and then show you whether you can access video station or not. I think I input the wrong password. Wait a minute, let me show you it on this NAS. Okay, so let me log out. So So alpha can access the video station now, but if I log out here, and as admin I go to the multimedia console, and from the multimedia console I can change the permissions here in the multimedia app suite. Go to custom permissions and I deny alpha from using this. Okay, so now if I log out and log in as alpha, I will not be able to view a video station. Okay, so you can see there is no video station right now here. Okay, so you can control the settings, or you can control the permissions of your different multimedia applications from the multimedia app suite. Okay, so that that completes our demo for the multimedia console. One thing I want to discuss before going ahead is for transcoding, or for you know, if you want to play videos for of any particular format or something, then one of the ways to do that is you can use Kine MSP, Kine MSP multimedia player. It's a third-party application, and you can use Kine MSP to, you know, play your videos from in different formats. And right now, if you can go to the QNAP store and purchase the license. You can either purchase a free license or you can purchase a plus license. And I would like to inform our users that we have discussed with Kine, and maybe you know, in coming time, in coming few weeks, we are going to run some promotion with Kine MSP. So the customers or our users can purchase the plus license at a discounted rate. Okay, so I can confirm to all our users that Kine MSP will be available at a discounted rate. We have not yet confirmed the date, from which date it will kick off, and the price, but definitely it will be much more cheaper than what the users have been paying at the moment. Okay, so but this is on promotion, so we are going to promote Kine MSP at a discounted rate. So I would recommend all our customers to definitely make the best use of this promotion. And once you can, I think once you once you purchase the Kine MSP plus license, it will be really easy for you to you know, play different kind of files or different kind of formats for your multimedia. Okay, so that completes our today's live broadcast. If you have any questions, please do let us know, and in coming few weeks we'll come up with more live broadcast for different multimedia applications. Okay, so to sum up, I think Multimedia Console is mainly for those people who really want to control you know, control the different multimedia applications. And for end users or end customers, I'll say that it's just something they can just you know, have a look once in a while. And I think for end customers, they can just upload their photos and videos, and they just install Photo Station, Video Station, QMaji, and start using it. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, stay updated with our channel.